Hello, guys. It is officially hot girl summer. Today I got in my car and it said 94 degrees, and I have a sun shield, and I park under a tree. So yeah, summer comes very early here in Central Florida, but it's officially time for my summer reading mood, and therefore some mood reading lists. So we are today, I have a really nice setup today. I'm super proud of myself. I'm sitting in my director chair, which you can kind of see, in front of my teeny bookshelf. I know it's not that impressive, but we're getting there. If I get any more furniture in this room, I think it'll be a little too overwhelming. So eventually, obviously, I'm going to dedicate like a whole wall to bookshelves. But for now, we've got this baby that I've had since like I started college, and I moved it around with me between different dorms and houses, and it's pretty full. The top of it does have a very high shelf, so I could put more in there. But let's get into reading. So I'm going to start off with some plans and ideas I have. Obviously, I would like to read some books that make me feel like summer. Okay, sorry, I had to make sure this mic was working because that would really suck if I was doing it this whole time and it was recording nothing. So we're ready. Okay, so when I think of summer, I think of first love, I think of the beach and the lake, and it gives me very nostalgic vibes, so I'm okay with reading some YA. So first up on my list is a book that I will be reading on my Kindle, which is Every Summer After. Look at this cover. It's giving summer lake house. It's giving flashbacks, nostalgia. I grew up going to a camp on a lake for like 5 summers in like the most pivotal times of growing up. Like, yeah, good times. I also went to sleepaway camp for like 3 years, so this like lake house vibes have always been what I come back to as far as summer vibes go, and this includes like a love triangle and brothers, and we love stuff like that. We just do, right? Okay, next book. Speaking of brothers and love triangles, I've got this one because I adore this series, and that is the Summer I Turned Pretty series, and this is the second book. Is it summer? This is the second book. Is it really summer? I'm reading the back. The back says, is it really summer without the beach or the boys? But the real cover, the book is called It's Not Summer Without You, and it is the second book in the Summer I Turned Pretty series, which, man, I read the first book last summer, so it just only feels right that I read it now, especially with the second season coming out. Like, I couldn't wait. Next up, we're going to read a book by my favorite author. Honestly, these last two are pretty much tied for first as far as favorite authors that never miss, that I know what I'm going into when I read their books, like in a good way. Like, I know it's going to be a good ride, and that is Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book has been on my shelf for a very long time because look at this cover. Like, I couldn't read this in October. No, I couldn't read this in September. No, this is fully summer, like deep in the ocean vibes. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm hype. I'm super hyped to read this. Would it be a summer book series if I didn't read an Emily Henry book? This is the last one that I haven't even read yet. Can you believe everyone else is like, this is the first book I read? So I think that's the only reason people love this one. I loved People We Meet on Vacation. And then Book Lovers was such a sweet read. Yeah, this just feels fitting as my last book leading up to summer. And it's just, she's so easy to read, especially on the beach. So I will be bringing this one with me if I go to the beach. Although I've read that this one is more of a lake house vibe. So I guess that's the theme other than Malibu Rising, like of the books, pretty much lake house vibes. So I'm really excited and can't wait to take y'all on this ride. This is my first video that's like over a few days, and I have other videos that I'm planning and thinking in the process. So I am going to be reading things in between these books, but this video is culminating all of the summer books that I'll be reading. So let's just get into it. Just a few chapters into Every Summer After, and I started it last night, and it is literally like so far The Summer I Turned Pretty. I read the first The Summer I Turned Pretty last year so I could watch the show, and yeah, this book is already giving me those vibes, which I love, but like we can't do a copycat. More words to come, but God, that made me cry. So now we're moving on to our next summer book. Woo! Gosh, I'm such a sucker for second chance romance, childhood lovers. And I think that's gonna be the theme of this video, because most summer books have that style, but the next book I'm reading doesn't. So check back in with you when I read that book. Alright, it's after work, and I thought I would just let y'all know I'm on to my second summer read of this video series, and it is by one of my favorite authors, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Love the vibes of this book, paired with my new fave summer drink, Poppy. Not sponsored, just highly recommend. And then these neon tabs that my mom got me recently, and I've been using the blue, the yellow, and the pink, and I'm tabbing blue for any quotes relating to family that I love, because this is a book about like socialite family in Malibu, 4 siblings, 2 girls, 2 guys, and I love it. So anytime I see a quote that I like that relates to family, I'm doing blue. Obviously romance and love is going to be the hot pink, and then yellow are going to be any plot driven like quotes that have to do with the story that I enjoy. So on to our second read. Good morning, guys. So I went to bed. I read this last night and couldn't stop thinking about it. I have about like 40 pages left, and I just woke up, so I'm just gonna get on it because it is so good, and I can't start my day without finishing it. I think I read this in less than a week, which is very impressive, having like a full-time job and things to do. So, oh, I'm gonna miss them. But time to move on. We are starting It's Not Summer Without You. Hey guys, I'm sorry that it's been so long, but I've literally just been eating this up any chance I get, like during lunch breaks and literally waiting to go places. Like I was standing like by the fridge trying to figure out what to eat for lunch while reading this, and like it's just that good, and I love this story. So I've only got this much left and I'm already through this much, so catching up. But man, is it getting juicy? Are the boys fighting? Like, what did I just read? Also, the Taylor Swift instrumental song that was playing during that last moment is Everything Has Changed. So yeah, everything changed in the last pages of that book, and then the epilogue really threw me for a loop. Oh my god. Hey, I have switched locations. I'm now at the pool. It's been a few days since my last video, so I'm about 50% in beach read, and I'm really liking it so far. It's such an interesting rom-com concept because it involves people with some history, and both have had like some traumatic experiences in life, and they really respect each other. I also enjoy this like subplot of like exploring cults and like what that can do to a person and why people want like get involved in toxic relationships and toxic things like that. So I was like, whoa, not expecting that. But yeah, 50% through. Hey y'all, I can't believe it's the end of this summer series. I have already moved on to other books, and it was just such a good time, a great start to summer reading. So I thought I'd give you my thoughts. The first book I read was Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and I see this book cover everywhere. People love it, and I really enjoyed it. As someone who grew up most of their summers going to a lake house on a lake or beach houses up north, I really connected to that atmosphere, and I loved the environment. The romance, however, I felt was really distant and just wasn't as strong to me as others that I've read. Obviously, like, a lot of the plot is so similar to The Summer I Turned Pretty that I just prefer that one. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I gave it 3.5 stars, which it's a good mid-range. If for it to be 4 stars, it would have to have been like some great quotes in there, some great writing or like plot points that like would have shocked me or made me really giddy and excited, and this book didn't really do that. But it was a really fast, quick, and easy read, and the ending was pretty sweet. This is the second Summer I Turned Pretty book, which literally season 2 comes out next week, so I'm so excited. And this book I think was better than the first one. Belly gets way older, and so do the boys, and I think she matures a lot, and a lot of the things that they have to go through makes them really mature. And so as an adult reading it, like, I appreciate it more. And yeah, I just love the back and forth. I love that we also get Jeremiah's POV like every other chapter, because he's just such a little puppy of a character, and I love getting that POV. So I gave that book 4 stars, and I think just the show elevates that in my mind because I can already picture how good it's going to be, so it definitely helps. The next book that I read, or the next one that I'm going to talk about, is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read this has like kickstarted my love for Taylor Jenkins Reid again, because I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo first, and I was like, whoa, this is unlike any other book I've read. And then before the Daisy Jones show came out, I read that book, and that book was so cool. It's different. I didn't love it as much as I loved Evelyn Hugo, but this book, oh my God, I just really want to know the Riva family. It's, you know, 2 boys and 2 girls, and they're just like a summer loving, surfing family. And I love a book about a good family, especially one like theirs where they kind of had to raise themselves and grow up together. I relate a lot to Nina as the older sister character. I loved her character. I loved her story. And I loved learning more about everyone's background. I feel like I have a great idea about every single character, even like outside characters like Nina's husband, Brandon, and then like his new girlfriend, Carrie. It was like so much. I love the worlds that Taylor Jenkins Reid is able to create in just like 400 pages. So I highly recommend that book. I gave it 5 stars. I think it's like my first 5-star read of the summer. Then I also read Carrie Soto is Back next, and that was incredible. Yeah, I just love a redemption arc and story. So like seeing Carrie in One Light in Malibu Rising and then getting her own story, I was like, wow. She makes, TJR makes like characters redeemable and gives them, no one's really a villain because you don't know their story. And I love that. The last book that I read has been on my TBR for a very long time, and it's like, you have to read this, it's summertime, and it's Beach Read by Emily Henry. And I've already read People We Meet on Vacation and Book Lovers, and I will say Beach Read is like right in the middle of those 2 books. It is a very like serious romance. Emily Henry writes characters that have depth. They're not just like one piece of paper. They're like double-sided. They've got a whole binder of stuff. Like both of these female and main characters that, you know, have a little bit of a romance, have very interesting backstories that I found really different and very well thought out. I also love the premise of the story being, it's not really beach read, it's more like beach write. And it's also not beach, it's lake. Yeah, they're better than the other. They're like, well, you try and write a romance and you try and write like a serious fiction book. And they're like, okay. Emily Henry writes for readers, like we just get it, the tropes, going to bookstores. I just thought that there was a lot going on, including them falling in love, that I was like, whoa, it's too much to cram into one book. So I gave it 4.5 stars, not a 5-star read for me. Something was definitely missing. Maybe if I reread it, I would, because Augustus Everett, we love him. But those are all my summer reads. So thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to show you guys my next video. Bye.